Hi, my name is Tim. I am the creator of the AK Endless Sports Cards channel. I am excited to start making content videos pertaining to sports cards because it's a passion of mine. I collected sports cards quite a bit when I was a kid, right up into high school. Once I got into the latter stages of high school and into college, I stopped collecting for several years. Kind of got back into it in 2007 and bought my first hobby box back in that same year, 2007, and was able to pull a Kevin Durant Topps Gold rookie, which I actually just got back recently, and it ended up grading a PSA 8. So this was kind of the card that got me back into collecting. You know, this was my first hobby box. It was like 35 bucks. I was thinking, man, this is awesome. You know, it's numbered to 2007. If you're familiar with these cards on the back, they're black and they're really prone to chipping, you know, on the corners, edges, etc. And so an 8 grade in this Kevin Durant is pretty solid. And so this kind of got me back into collecting. Now, one of the hardest questions that people face when they get into collecting is, you know, I really enjoy sports cards, but I have no idea what to collect. Like I just have a random assortment of stuff and I have no idea how to make a decision on what to collect. So I'm going to kind of share my experience with you in regards to my Luka Doncic PC because I watched the 2018 draft and was kind of intrigued by Luka. So I watched some, videos and stuff like that on him, and I thought, all right, this guy looks pretty good. So I went to the 2018 National, and that's where my Luka Doncic collection started. And so I'm going to go through that process with you and kind of show you those cards. And then it evolved over time where, started watching some of his NBA games on League Pass. And watching him as a rookie, I just thought, man, this guy, he's got the potential to be, generational talent. I mean, he was really good as a rookie right off the bat. And so after watching some of his games, I'm just like, I'm gonna really collect this guy. And so I went to the, as I mentioned, went to the 2018 National, but I also ended up going to the 2019 National. So I'm gonna go through those cards that I picked up really early, kind of on the ground floor with Luka, and I'll share some of the other pickups that I've made since then as well. So excited to get the channel started. If you enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe as I'd like to grow the channel. And let's get to the cards. So as we get into the cards, I did want to make mention that I am up in Alaska, and so we don't have a whole lot of opportunities to go to shows up here. And so whenever possible, I do try to get to the National Sports Collectors Convention. As I previously mentioned, I went in 2018, 2019. 18 was in Cleveland. That's kind of where my Luka Doncic collection had first begun. So I don't normally crack a lot of wax, but I had heard that Luka was going to be in those Panini redemption packs that you get when you buy boxes of products. You bring them up and you exchange them for packs. And so I was walking around trying to find dealers that had cracked, several of these packs to see if I could find any Doncic cards. And I ended up finding two. I bought them both. First one, I don't know, I paid like around $5 or $10 a piece for each one of these. First one I found, talked to the dealer for quite a while, a really cool guy. Ended up buying it, got it graded later on, and I ended up getting a PSA 10. And this is the Panini National Convention Luka Doncic NBA Prospects card. There is a serial number right down here. It's numbered to, let's see if I can get it on there. It is numbered to 199. Ended up finding a second copy of this same card, which I also bought and got graded myself, and it also graded a PSA 10. So I got two copies of this card. Both are numbered to 199. This is kind of how the collection started. So this is at that 2018 National. That is kind of a tip too. If you're into those types of cards, like if you really want to start collecting a person early, their player early, you can always try to see if there's dealers or individuals selling singles for those redemption packs, or if you like cracking a lot of wax, you can take a look at that list. So Panini will put out a list and basically say, hey, if you buy a box of this product, you get X number of packs. Could be one pack, could be two packs. It used to be more back then, but you do get packs with the boxes that you buy, as long as you buy boxes from the list that they have. And sometimes they're good boxes. Sometimes people are kind of critical of that it's not the best product. So it's worth taking a look at least. So I got those two. That's basically it from 2018. I did get some VIP sets that you get for buying a VIP badge. I still have those sealed. I think Otani's on the top of those. And I know that there's Lukas in there as well that are not numbered. Can't remember if those are 18 or 19. 2018 or 2019. Not really sure off the top of my head, but got those as well. But at the 2019 show, I found a dealer that had opened a whole bunch of Chronicles. Must open cases. I didn't know anything about Chronicles at the time, but I really liked a lot of the brands that were in that product, the 2018-19 Chronicles. And one of the singles that I bought, it's not super high-end, just happens to be a card that I really enjoy. This is an Essentials Luka Doncic. It's kind of got that hollow foil. These weren't very expensive, $5-6, something like that. Got it graded myself. Got a PSA 10. Just really a cool card. I just really like the design on that card. Didn't know anything about this next set. Bought a Court Kings Luka Doncic rookie. I didn't know anything about the levels or anything like that back then. I just knew it was about $10, and I hadn't seen a lot of them at the show. This is the only one that I recall seeing. I found out later that it is a level 2. I had no idea. I just kind of thought there was one back at the time. Got this graded myself. Then I found out that it's also the international version of this. It's got it's the color of the foil. It's got like silver foil down here. The regulars have like gold foil. This one has silver. And so this is actually a really tough card. There's only like 8 of these altogether that have been graded. And so I got this graded myself as well, graded out a 9. Really happy with this card because it turns out it's actually a really tough card to get. So I was able to pick that one up 2019 as well as this Obsidian preview from Chronicles. I really like the design on these. I remember looking this card over really close before sending it in too, and it was perfect. I mean, I saw no blemishes on there whatsoever, so really was not surprised that this graded out a PSA 10. They did put this in kind of a thick holder. It kind of split the plastic on the side, but yeah, what do you do? It's a little bit of a thicker card, so it's an Obsidian preview. Really like the design of this. I don't know, it was like $10-12 when I bought this raw. Got it graded myself. I ended up getting a good grade. I only saw one of this next card. I really like the design of the Donruss and the Donruss Optic Luka rookies, and I only saw one of these parallels when I was at the show, and that's the Yellow Flood. I don't think that there's a ton of these. I haven't really looked at the pop report too close, but these are fairly tough to find parallels. I think they were at like the dollar store or something like that, the packs. Either that or maybe like Walgreens, something like that. I'm not sure exactly. Don't quote me on that, but these are pretty tough. PSA 9, got that graded myself. I paid more for this. I paid like $20 for this, I think, when I first bought that. Really like the design on that card. Back to Chronicles. I actually have one more Chronicles card picked up, 2019. This is the 2018 Luka rookie Studio Red. It's got a really nice shine to it. It's numbered to 149. This is another card that just looked great. Sent it in myself. Figured that it would do well. And when I say that I send these in myself, I do look them over myself, and I send them. I actually do go through a group submitter, person that I've met, or business actually, led by a person that I've met a few times at the National. I might talk about that in a future video, but I have a group subber that I go with that I really, really like. So that Studio graded out real well. Color matching to me is a thing. I really like the color match, and blue Luka rookies really tend to pop on cards. This is a BGS. This is graded by BGS. It's a 9. It's a certified mirror blue. Luka number to 199. I think there was an individual that had posted a thread on this, maybe on Blowout. I ended up buying this. I don't remember what I paid, 40, 50 bucks I think. Just a cool card. Really like these blue color match type cards, jersey match, jersey color. The last card that I got at that 2019 National, I really like the story behind this card. It's really one of the reasons why I wanted to buy it. It's a 2016-17 Upper Deck Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Rainbow Luka. The dealer had told me that he was into like the e-pack cards, and if you pulled a certain number of this card on the e-pack, you could actually redeem it for a physical copy. He at one time had a few of these. This was the last one that he had when I was at his table. Just an awesome card. Now these, last time I checked, have gotten pretty expensive. Really happy that I was able to pick this up, because this would probably be a card that would be a little out of my range now. I don't know exactly what they're at, but the sticker's still on there. It's 125 bucks. I think there's an older sticker on the back, 130. It's interesting though, you look at his stats, 3.5 points a game in 15-16, but he was really young. It says that he was just 16 years old, 2 months and 2 days when he started in that Spanish league. So, really cool card. So I don't view cards as investments. People say like, well, what would you do if your card values, if the value of your collection dropped in half or dropped to like a third of what it's worth? I'd still be happy with my collection. The reason why I want to, if there's a player I really like, I want to get a lot of cards, like these types of cards early, is because they get really expensive really fast if you don't. And I feel like I can build a better collection that way. There's some guys that are, super expensive, like right out of the gate. Well, that's pretty tough to do. And it seems like there's a lot of speculation going on a lot of different cards nowadays. So it's harder to do, but I go by that principle of I watch games. If there's somebody I really like, whether they're a player on my team or not, I tend to like the Bulls. But now I tend to be a Mavs fan too. I watch a lot of Mavs games because I really like Luka. So there's different ways to collect. Most of the people that I see nowadays are individual player collectors as opposed to sets, but that's not always the case. I'll have another video at some point where I have a pretty rare set that I've put together over the years that I think people will find of interest that I'd like to share in one of these videos. But we'll save that for another video. So after that 2000 National, between 2019 and 2021, let's say, I picked up a whole bunch of Luka cards. So I'll kind of go through those next. First one is a Blue Velocity. Bought this already graded. Really like these Blue Velocities. They're the jersey color match. Wasn't super cheap when I bought it. Probably cheaper compared to now, but wasn't super cheap. I really like Optic Hollows as well. This one I still got before his cards kind of took off. I remember this one specifically. I think I paid like 40 bucks, maybe 50 bucks. It's a 9. It's a really nice card though. I really like the finish on these. These are really condition sensitive too, so I'm really happy with a 9. This one actually looks really good when you look at it close. So I'm really, that's a card I really like. It's one of my favorites that I have. I really like the shine on those. And then people have mixed feelings on this next Luka card. It's the Barber Pole. It is the Panini Prism Red, White, and Blue. These were going for about 30 bucks, maybe 40 bucks when I picked mine up. Got it graded myself. Got it graded a 9. I like the design of these personally. I like the Barber Pole. This one actually looks really good too. I was surprised when it got a 9. I thought I'd get a 10 for sure. It looks really good in hand. Pretty cool design. So I showed you a Court Kings card earlier. Well, once I found out that there were levels and that I had a level 2, I had to go out and I had to get the level 1. I had to backtrack and get that. I think I got that in a trade. And of course I had to get the level 3, which I actually just got recently. And this was pretty expensive because these international ones are really hard to find. And I want to say this is over 300 bucks. It was pretty expensive. So I got levels 1, 2, and 3. This is an international also. So you can see this one is a regular. It's got gold foil down here in the name. This has the silver. The internationals, they're both pretty tough to find. There's not a lot of, either one of them. But the internationals are really hard to find. So I was happy to kind of pick these up as well. There's a level 4 as well, but I don't tend to swim in those waters. Those look really expensive. Those must be exceptionally rare. I haven't done a lot of research, but I saw one on eBay, and it was very expensive, like several thousand. So don't have that. Let me put these over here, actually. Don't have the level 4, but it's okay. I'm okay with my levels 1, 2, and 3. Getting down to the last 3 cards here. So the next card is a 2017 Upper Deck EuroLeague. It's an Upper Deck exclusive card. I like this one because it's a tough one to find. It's serial numbered to 100. It's kind of a cool card. I think I got this in a trade a while back. Got it graded myself. Graded out pretty good. It's interesting looking at these numbers when he was super young. The numbers don't really stand out at you. You really look at the backs of some of these cards, but really took off after. I have a cool card. Tough one to find. Last 2. I have a 2019 Panini Contenders draft picks. Luka Doncic Diamond. I really like this one. This is the color match. It's the blue. It's got a good shine to it here. It's also numbered to 15. It's another one that's pretty tough. Kind of like that card as well. Set this one over here. And last but not least, when COVID caused prices to really peak, I had a handful of cards that went like through the roof. Like 100. Think along lines of like $80 to $100 cards going to like over $1,000, and so wasn't really selling any cards at that time. Instead, I was looking to trade, and so I traded a card that went up like a lot within a 2-week period. And one of the cards that I got in return was a 2019 Panini Crown Royal Luka Doncic Crystal Gold. And this is one of my favorites here. Just a really cool design. It's not a rookie, but it's just an awesome card. I was really excited to get this, and it was already graded. The inside of has a sleeve in there, and it kind of got bunched up a little bit. I might get it reslabbed someday. It doesn't affect the card at all, so I'm not super concerned about it, but it's an awesome card. This was numbered to 10. So again, not a rookie, but another tough to find Luka card. So that about does it for this video. So I do plan to put out numerous other videos about card collecting, about my experiences as a card collector. I really enjoy the card collecting community. I really enjoy meeting people at the National and through like online forums and things like that are just passionate about sports cards. As I mentioned before, if you haven't already, if you can like and subscribe this video, if this is the type of content that you'd like to see, I definitely want to grow this channel because I have a lot of experiences that I'd like to share, ranging from things like, prepping cards for grading, using a group submitter, putting together some sets, some other PC things. As far as personal collections are concerned, I really like to be able to share those with you. And I'll kind of close with the slogan that kind of goes along with this channel, and that is, whether you live in Alaska or anywhere else in the world, the opportunities for collecting sports cards are endless.